Love you too that much, girl, I need balance. Love you too that much, girl, I need balance. I need balance, oh, balance. Hey, you make it hard, you're a challenge. Hey, there were no problems.
Queen!
Hi, Queen.
So what's playing in the living room this weekend?
This weekend it is Balance by X Brody. You know, our brother from another mother.
On all platforms.
On all platforms.
Yes, ma'am. Well, let's kick it off with month in review. Queen, catch me up on things.
Okay. Okay, so I want everybody to know that this week I had to sit far, far, far away from Sydney because I fear that I might strangle her to death.
And we know why. I'm sure if they have listened from the pilot episode, they already know why.
My stand-up-ship. But I want to start by dedicating this episode. I'm going to dedicate it to Emmett Till. It is his birthday today, the day that we are recording. Maybe not the day this airs, but on 7/25/1941, Emmett Till was born. So I just wanted to pay homage to him and dedicate this episode. Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Hey.
Yes, ma'am. That is a great way to kick off month in review. Yes. Remembrance of Emmett Till, the murder that shocked the world. Yes, ma'am. So, you want me to kick off month in review?
I don't want to talk to you this week,
Okay.
actually, at all.
All right.
I suppose I will.
That's fine. So my month in review is going to definitely be Lion King centered. I created an entire checklist because I needed to vent.
I have to say that mine is also, besides Emmett Till, it is the only thing on the month in review, and I am prepared.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so because we like to leave off on positive notes, I am going to start with the ugly first, and I will end with the beautiful as far as the Lion King
all
is
right,
concerned.
that's fine. I'm ready.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. The
Okay.
opening song was entirely too low. And maybe it's because I'm 25 now, but I expected that, to be in my brain. Like, I was like, it's going to be loud. It's going to be powerful. I'm going to be overwhelmed. And then it sounded like a dull whisper. And I went to see it twice. I was like, maybe it's the theater I'm in.
John Favreau, are you hearing this shenanigan?
Whoever you just said, sir.
He's the director.
Turn the volume up.
And a wonderful comedian as well.
Turn the volume up. That's all I got to say about
All
that.
right. That's fair.
So that is my first.
Wow, we're getting really nitpicky here.
As I should. Next, they changed the song Be Prepared, which is the song that Scar sings. They shortened it. And then I cannot pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try. But our good brother from 12 Years of Slave was the actor for Scar in the new one. By the end of the song, he sounded like a pirate.
Okay.
If my eyes would have been closed, I would have imagined a ship and Johnny Depp and his dreads blowing in the wind.
Okay.
I was disgusted. That's also one of my favorite songs, though, like from the movie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I heard it, and I was like, I feel like in general this movie stays on track. But when I heard it, I was like, I don't think this is the same song, or they changed it.
Yeah,
I was like, something is off here.
They definitely changed some of the words, and they made it a lot shorter. And so I was just like, I'm not pleased. And like I said, because it was one of my favorites, that was another one of the moments where I was like, okay, I see how this is going to go, but I'm on my business. But also, too, and it's not that I don't think he did a good job, but I like the original Scar voice better. And that's nothing against him. That's just...
Yeah, I liked it a lot as well.
So I was just kind of like, eh.
You know, Lion King is very close to my heart.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was kind of like just another like thing where I was just like, okay, here we go. Just Sydney, let it go, relax. Don't try to compare it too much to the original. So that was my next thing. So like I also put down that was kind of minor. They took out my Timon song, which is, I don't know if anybody knows, but my favorite song in the movie is the Timon Pumbaa song when they're trying to distract the hyenas, and he's like, I know how it goes, but of course I ain't gonna be able to sing it now.
Did you catch the Easter egg?
What Easter egg?
So when Timon and Pumbaa were trying to be the distraction, they were like, bonjour, be our guest. Okay, so that's the Beauty and the Beast song. Where the plates and stuff are singing around the table like be our guest.
Oh, I've never seen Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay.
Not even the original.
Oh, I forgot. So Sydney be trying to take my black card because I haven't seen a lot of black movies, but Sydney has not seen a lot of Disney movies.
I haven't seen,
very sad.
I haven't seen a lot of the ones that, which is unfortunate, but I haven't seen the ones that are like women centered. Now that I say that out loud, that's a problem. But I haven't seen The Little Mermaid. I haven't seen Bambi. I haven't seen Mulan. I haven't seen, because I mean, growing up,
like
I think
some of the best.
I think everybody could guess that I was a tomboy growing up. So if it wasn't Small Soldiers, Lion King,
yeah, but I feel like the women-centered ones are always tomboy centered.
Okay.
Like Mulan, very
Beauty and the
tomboy
Beast?
centered. Maybe not that one.
Okay. Ariel? Little Mermaid?
Well, kind of. I mean, because they're a very like women empowering. All of them are, because like Beauty and the Beast, like all these are like, oh, you're supposed to marry this person. You're supposed to be this kind of girl. You're supposed to wear this kind of dress. And they're all like, no, I'm gonna throw knives. I'm gonna read books. I'm gonna, marry who I want to marry. So yeah,
okay.
I love Disney movies.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I love them too, but I've seen more like Toy Story. I've seen all the Toy Stories, all the Lion Kings.
That's fair.
But for some reason,
the
the Mulan never interested me as a child.
Are you gonna watch the live action?
For Mulan?
Yeah,
I definitely want to. I want to watch the live action and the original. I haven't seen Aladdin either, and that was
okay. We're gonna have a whole Disney day.
Okay, that, and we're also gonna watch Set It Off to round it up, because
viewers, I need a few more black cards.
Viewers are my co-host has not seen Set It Off, and
I need a few more black cards.
Yikes! So the song I'm talking about is "Eat My Buddy Pumbaa Here Because Here's a Treat." Da, 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 da,
oh yeah. It's a little quick
all you
one.
gotta do is get in line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, some bacon. Yep.
Go ahead. Go on, sis.
Yep. You could be a big pig too. That's my shit. Okay. So they took that out, and I was like, I can't. Because when he first started singing, I was like, no. He's going to get into it. And they started chasing him, and I was like, they took my song out. I can't. Oh, so I was heartbroken. So there's that.
Okay.
Another reason why I was like, can't do it. They took the Rafiki stick part out where he hits him
in the head.
And I was like,
oh, yes.
what the
I
hell?
said the same thing.
So again,
because I was like, okay, he's already following him, but he's supposed to hit him before he follows him.
Yeah.
And I was ready to see Simba bonked in the head with that stick.
That was an important part. And so I'll get into like what like the bigger parts of the movie.
What did you learn?
Right. So I was shook. And so even when he like pulls the stick out and he's like, my old friend, I was like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe the stick thing was in the second Lion King. But then I was like, no, because that was about Kiara and Kovu. So I was like, it has to be this one. So I'm very confused.
And see, I watched all the Disney things, and I didn't see a lot of sequels in like Lion King 2. I saw Lion King 1.5, but a lot of the twos of things I didn't watch.
Okay, Lion King 2 is actually really good. Like it had, I don't know if you know anything about it, but it has the mom of Kovu, and it's kind of like now that I'm thinking about it as an adult, I'm kind of like, it seemed like a class thing because it was the wife of Scar. We didn't even know he had a wife, but like she pop up in the second movie.
Yeah, I thought Scar was gay.
Okay, where'd you get that from?
I don't know. He just got a switch, but in his talk.
Okay. The new Scar or old Scar?
Old Scar.
Okay. Well,
new Scar looked toe up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. So that was also I said Rafiki was another original voice that I liked better. He didn't even have any words almost in this one. He just kind of made a lot of sounds.
He definitely didn't talk as much as he did.
And I was like, okay. So that was so the big issue I had with it, and a lot of people were saying this, was that even though it was visually stunning, it didn't convey emotion very well.
I thought that as well.
And when I was watching it, when it hit me, because it hit people in different parts, it hit me when like Kiara was supposed to be falling in love with not Kiara. No, that's right. Right? No. What's Beyonce's character's name?
Oh my God, Sydney Nala.
Nala, my bad. I'm thinking about the daughter we were just talking about too. So I'm sorry. Okay. So Nala, when Nala falls in love with Simba, you can see it all in her eyes in the original version. They just start running around in the new version, and I was like, so when did they fall in love? Because I didn't see no love. Between y'all.
It struck me whenever Mufasa was fussing at Simba, and Simba, even when he put his paw in the giant paw print, he didn't like look sad, and I was ready to be crying, like feeling bad for the little cub, and he didn't have like he had no Puss in Boots look in his face. And
exactly.
I actually was looking for that for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know why that was like important. I mean, because emotion is important.
Emotion is very important, and I think like
you can't see it on the actor, so you have to be able to see it in the CGI, which I feel like would have been easy enough to do.
Yeah, but I think because I was talking to my manager about it, and she was like, I'm not surprised at all that they didn't have any emotion, because if you would have read the articles leading up to it, all they talked about was how real it was going to look. And if you think about it, if in a 2D, of course you can just draw smiles on and draw like sad eyes, but if you're trying to make them look like real animals, you know what I mean? I guess like real animals don't be having that much emotion in their eyes. I don't know. I don't pay real animals any attention.
I strongly disagree.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's why it annoyed me, because I'm like, when an animal is sad, like, so Sydney, you know this because you lived with Diesel, right? So if I came in the house and Diesel had been in the trash, sheer terror on his face.
Facts.
So because Sydney would snitch on him every time. She'd be like,
because he in my trash.
I cleaned it up, but I just want you to know Diesel got in the trash. I'm like, Diesel! But yeah, no, you can see emotion on animals, I think, or I can see it or sense it, what have you. So I did look for that.
You're right, actually, because when Diesel would cower, he would also have sad eyes.
Very sad eyes. Sad, cry.
cry, the end. Absolutely. So that was another part where I was just like, this is not going to sell for me because, so I won't jump ahead because I got some stuff written down in the good part and to kind of correlate to this. But then another thing I did not like was Simba's lines. I don't know if they tried to change them to modernize them, but there was just certain things he said that I was just like, what the hell? Like, I don't know. I guess Rafiki was like, who are you? And he was like, I'm nobody. It's just the way. I don't know if it was Childish Gambino's acting or if it was the actual lines having been changed, but I was just like,
I did think that some of the lines I feel like were difficult to I guess get enough emotion in.
Yeah.
I thought some of them were very weird. I mean, but I think that we also get caught up in how we feel. Like, we watched it when we were children. The Lion King is 25 years old, right?
Yeah,
so I'm like, it's literally as old as we are. So we're taking that from what we felt as children and trying to be like, well, how come it doesn't feel like that as an adult? Well, that's because we're not children no more.
Yeah, but...
And also, they're not... in a way, they made this Lion King for the adult crowd, but they also were like, okay, this is also how we get this new money from these new young kids.
Right.
But, I mean, I think it meant more to people who it came out in their era of their childhood.
But maybe I think that's a generational difference, though, because there are still things that I could watch as a child. Like, even, like, for instance, Toy Story 3. It wasn't as good as Toy Story 1, but I still enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it even from the I don't know if you noticed this, 'cause I know you said you skipped the second one. You skipped the second one, right? For Toy Story, did you see it?
No, I feel like I saw all of them because the second one had Jessie.
Yeah.
And then the third one was when they were in
that playhouse, they
were like in a child care center, daycare.
I like Toy Story because did you notice that he was the same age as us? Like, he went to college when we went to college. So
I was able, did that on purpose.
Yeah, so I was able to still have a connection to it even as an adult. Same thing with like, and maybe this actually proves your point. I was gonna say, like, I can still watch old episodes of That's So Raven and still think it's funny like today. But there's certain shows like I can go back and watch Kenan and Kel and be like, oh, this is corny as hell.
And in that, I think a lot of it is nostalgia. Like, some things really were not good. But then you watch it and you're like, this is amazing. I watched Smart House the other day because I was talking to somebody about how Alexa is pet. And I was like, if you see Smart House, like, you'll understand, like, she's going to kill us all one day. She's going to turn herself to a person and she's going to kill us all. She's going to lock us in our houses. Like, I mean, she knows how to lock doors, turn on lights, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, this is pet. So I was watching Smart House and I just remember it being the fucking shit. And I was watching it and I was like, what is this?
Oh, see, I'm a little different because I've watched Smart House since I've gotten older and I still think it's good.
No, it's good. It's good, especially because it was very trajectory. But like, some of it, I'm just like, this looks terrible.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So for me, I would rather, like, for instance, I think if someone were to compare the two Lion Kings, I remember seeing the commercial and being like, oh, I feel personally attacked because this shit looks amazing. But then I felt like they overcompensated by making it look so good and the story lacked. And I feel like there's been a lot of stuff, a lot of movies that come out now, I'll be like, they look great, the cameras are great, the special effects are great, but the story is not as good anymore. And I can't tell if it's because we're not happy, which is why we can't, like, we as a society are no longer as happy as we were back then.
Yeah, when we were kids.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and because it's kind of like whether it's art portraying or art is embodying what's going on in real life or vice versa. Real life is,
I think now, because we can connect it to what that really means. I mean, Lion King, you know, basically is about classism and it's about being black, you know, being kicked out of your quote unquote pride lands. Now we can recognize those things in the story. And I think when we were kids, it was just a story. It was just fun. Like, we didn't know all the shit that adults were about to put us through.
True, but I think we could still, like, I think kids have the best expressions of emotion and love because we haven't been impacted by what society tells us all these things are supposed to look like. And so I feel like we just get something different as adults than we do as children. Because even Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Like, I was sitting there listening to it like, oh my God, these lyrics are amazing. And maybe it's because I'm an adult. Like, the part where they say,
I can't wait till we get to the good stuff.
Right.
Because my God, is it good?
You're right. So I'm not gonna jump ahead.
Okay.
And then let's see. I had Sarabi's slap scene. Hated it because in the cartoon version he slaps the shit out of her. Like, she go flying back down Pride Rock and it made you go Like we hated him in that moment. And then, okay, so then just coming from a camera motion perspective, he slaps her. She goes flying down Pride Rock, and it strongly zooms in on Simba. And mind you, at that particular moment, they didn't know it was Simba. They still thought it was Mufasa, which made us like just kind of like, I just felt like you went through a whole emotional like journey with the characters, because Sarabi looks up and she's like, oh my God, Mufasa, and he's like, no, I'm Simba. In this version, she gets a little paw struck. They kind of paw fight it out for a second, and then he goes, get away from my mother. And I was just like, that was stupid. Mm-hmm. That was horrible.
I will say that was another part of the lines again.
I was like, why did y'all do that?
Why did we write this?
Yeah, and then also in the cartoon version, there's lightning. Like, again, it's just all these things going on production design wise that were just so much better in the cartoon version for me, because when he said it, I was like, hang it up, bruh. I'm fucking sick of this shit. Like, he just paw fought her, didn't slap the shit out of her like he did in the cartoon.
Okay, you were wanting more domestic violence.
I was wanting more drama. This was not dramatic at all. Like, them just paw fighting and him going, get away from my mother. Like, I was just like, oh my God. It was cringeworthy. A lot of Childish Gambino's lines were cringeworthy for me. Like, I was just like, just stop, please. Just turn the mic down. So yeah, say that to say I think the storytelling was just better in the cartoon, the 2D version, because again, they didn't have much to work with when trying to make it look great. So they really had to focus on making the story good. I feel like when you can use all this pizzazz and all this glamour, you think you can kind of cheat on the story. But then to James Earl Jones.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I was so disappointed.
Oh
I just felt like they should have used his voiceover from the first one and just superimposed that shit into the new version.
Wow, he did not stay alive all this time to be superimposed.
They should have just cut him another check and be like, sir, we're just going to use your original, because he changed his intonation at certain points. And I was like, this don't even sound as serious, and it's not as emphasized. Like, I felt like they did a really good job with comedy in the new version, and the serious, more dramatic, more like, let's give you a message parts all lacked to me in this version. Because even when he was like, I think coming through the clouds, he was coming through the clouds, and I was just like, they changed the lines.
That didn't give me enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And his voice was not, I don't know if again, it was just certain words he would say or certain words he didn't say, and I was just like, wow, even James Earl Jones couldn't sell it for me. So yeah. Damn. And then my last part.
Let's wrap up this negativity,
which might be the part where you come across the table.
Okay, let me shake my drink.
So Simba is running home, and we know in the original 2D version it's the and I was like, yes, here we go. That Beyonce song came on, and I was like, what?
I'm not here to play with you.
The fuck?
I'm not here to play with you.
Is this? I didn't like the song.
What?
I didn't like the song. I didn't like the way she said. So she says like,
well, okay, wait. Could it have been appreciated in a different scene? Because the song is amazing.
I don't like.
Have you seen the music video?
I haven't seen the music video, but she said, what are the lines in it? She goes like, spirit. And then she said, what did she say after that? I can hear it come. Like the way she says coming, I was like, I wish she would have sang coming like she sang spirit, because then I would have liked it more. But because she changed up the way she's
calling, I can hear it calling.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, what the hell is this? And then he like catches up to her, and I don't remember him catching up.
I'm physically getting hot. Like my ears are warming up.
I don't remember him catching up to her in the cartoon version until like she was standing there looking over Pride Rock, because she didn't know. Like, I'm thinking she's going home. Again, here comes the dramatic.
They had to drag it out for the song placement.
Yeah, and another thing that was not.
And they had to be far. He had to be far from Pride Rock.
So
he couldn't have been a skip and a hop down the street leaving his family.
But that's what I'm saying. It was drawn out in the cartoon version, but the song, to me, I like the original. Just kind of like it was simple. Then they like showed it had a close up on his feet, and it was kind of like faded over the top, and then you saw like the smaller full version of his body running through the sand. Like it was just in the 2D version, not in this version. So and mind you, I haven't seen any of this. I haven't seen that movie in years. It's just I just remember it because it was such a good movie to me. Like I remember the storytelling
right before I went to see the movie.
Yeah. So see, if I had done that, I probably would have thrown popcorn at the screen. But say that to say, yeah, didn't like the Spirit song, didn't like where it was, didn't like that they took out the original song, didn't like that he caught up to her, because again, for dramatic purposes, she thinking, oh, I'm going back by myself, I gotta do this by myself. Then Simba walks up on her,
as black women do all the time.
Okay,
so she would have been fine.
Okay, right. Not to say she wouldn't have been fine, but just for dramatic storytelling purposes, I like the original better. So that, I think, wraps up all of the negativity.
Wonderful. That's enough of that.
that I had to get out. Okay, guys. Thank you, Ayesha, for allowing me to vent. If you are still listening, thank you for listening to all of that. Now I can get into my good section. I have checked off all of my boxes under the bad, and here goes.
God.
Here goes.
This is
the
a
good.
long piece of paperwork.
No, this is it. This is my good. But you see, I had a whole page and a half of bad, and this is how much good I have. So that's how much I did not. I know y'all might not be able to see this because this hopefully this is on YouTube, but maybe not. Okay, so here's my good. Florence Kasumba as Shinzi was amazing.
And what a stunning person. Can we just talk about that?
Yes, beautiful,
she's
bald,
so beautiful.
dark. I love
God.
her
I
voice.
just want to.
Like even listening, I've listened to her do an interview on Yes Girl, which is the podcast by Essence, and she just like I was just like I can hear the class, the elegance, just the amazingness, and I knew she. So if anybody doesn't know, in case you don't follow me on Instagram, Florence Kasumba played one of the members of the Dora Milaje, which if you're not a Black Panther geek like me, that's the female army from the movie. So she only had one line in Black Panther, and it was the scene where T'Challa and Killmonger are fighting each other, and she goes, "Oh my God, is there nothing that can be done?" That's her. So then. Fast forward, and now she's playing Shinzi. And I will say this, I was actually really tight that Whoopi Goldberg was not going to be in the remake. That's her original character. But when I saw what they did with it, because in the original, it was much more comedic, the hyenas.
I thought so, and I was like, you guys have too many comedians in the group of three. Well, not too many. You have two, and I was like, this could have been way better. It had a lot of like dry, empty space in the comedy for the hyenas.
Yeah, and I would admit that too. I didn't really like the comedy from the hyenas, but I definitely like what they did with the Shinzi character because she was much darker in the new version because Whoopi Goldberg was just kind of funny. I mean, even when they were chasing...
Which I love the darker part. But yeah, again, the two that were always behind... I just feel like they're strong enough comedians that could have been way funnier. And but they just had a lot of dead space. And I'm like, maybe it's because they didn't want them as comedians to ad-lib too much, to be changing the story even more or whatever. But I was like, this could have been better. Yeah,
I could definitely agree with that. That wasn't something I thought about before you said it just now. But yeah, I love the Shinzi character. Definitely one of my favorites from the movie. Just love what they did with the character. Love how they changed that. Because as soon as she came walking out, I was like... oh, this bitch ain't playing. Y'all finna get 8. Everybody finna get 8. Visually stunning, like they said, like I definitely would not disagree with that at all. I thought Seth Rogen as Pumbaa did a phenomenal job. I thought he was hilarious. Even the scene where he isn't even there yet, you just see him running up. I was like, this shit, it's about to be so funny. Like I was already cracking up. Everybody in my movie theater, the second time I went to see it, was cracking up at just something running from the distance. We knew it was about to be great. So I thought that was really, really good. Those are probably my 2 favorite characters from the movie as far as acting and storyline. I thought Timon's singing was great. I will say that just speaking wise, I like the original Timon voice better, but singing wise, when they're like,
and see, I love Timon's character. I actually thought he did really well. Yeah,
you thought he did better? Like even
I can't say better because again, Lion King is so dear to my heart. But yeah, I really loved it.
Yeah,
I thought he was so funny.
Yeah, he was.
Like that's what I wanted for the hyenas though. Like I wanted that play with each other, that banter kind of. Yeah, I didn't really get that.
Yeah, they definitely. I think they worked very well together. Again, I thought his singing was phenomenal. And even like I liked how they kind of layered that beat when he's singing in the jungle tonight, like, and all the animals come joining in. And even again, just comedy wise, like when they first,
that scene was good.
It was
all the animals like jumping in. I thought that was so cute.
And then when like Nala come running in, that shit really made me jump. Like even though I knew she was coming, the sound design in that particular scene when you hear that roar, like I literally, if I had popcorn, that shit would have been all over the place because that scared the shit out of me.
The drama,
but but yeah, I thought they did a really, really good job. And then lastly, I just had Can You Feel the Love Tonight? But I think that Childish Gambino and Beyonce sounded amazing together. I definitely like the new version. And I again, like how you said, maybe not better, but I thought that was just a very great like duo. I thought they did an amazing job with the song.
And I just love that song so much.
Yeah. And I feel like, and I don't know if it's because it's Beyonce or if it's because they sounded so good together, but I feel like I really heard the lyrics for the first time. And it could just be again because I'm an adult and just that line of imagine like all of the living things in harmony for once, and like I'm just like, wow, that was amazing. And it's like I feel like I didn't hear it like that when I was a child. And that just again might be me being
Beyonce.
an adult.
Love
Thank you
so much,
yes
Mom.
to y'all and Childish Gambino. Thank you to Seth Rogen and whoever the guy is that played Timon, and thank you.
We gotta get our journalism skills up.
Thank you to Florence Kasumba. That was honestly, I was like, as long as I remember Florence Kasumba, everything else is stuff in the air. But yes, that is how I felt. For me, I I almost want to say I could have done without, but there were some really like good funny parts. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. The part where they bring the baby lion and he starts talking to everybody's like, "That's a lion. He's gonna get big." And he's like, "So y'all got any zebra?" And they're like, "Oh, here we go." That was hilarious. That
like,
took
no,
me
those
out.
are weed bugs here.
Right. It's like, like they looked like terrified. I thought that was really, really funny. So yeah, that is my Lion King checklist. I will say 2D was much better overall. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. So I'm not going to make this too long because we've been talking about Lion King forever. But I have a few things. First of all, let me skip. Let me go through the movie first, and then I have to talk about the present, which is the gift.
Okay. I want to talk about the gift too. That's perfect.
Oh yes, wonderful. Okay, so again, I won't make it too long, but Sydney. So because you like to come for my queen, and you know I do not play that shit. Okay, I want you to give me some lines from The Lion King, from Nala.
That were bad. No,
I want you to give me your best.
Oh. Lions attack.
Yeah, that's one.
But again,
that's one. No. You are Nala, okay? And I want you to tell these lions to attack. And scene.
No, you're not going to do this to me. I get what you're getting at here. And again, I can admit that maybe the lines really were a setup. Maybe somebody was like, y'all know Beyonce can't act, so let me try to make these lines bad.
Let me tell y'all something. When she said lions attack, I said, all I heard was get in formation, and I said, okay, queen.
I would rather let her say.
Okay, lions, now let's get in formation.
I think I would have rather heard her say that, because lions attack. I remember you posted that Aisha posted a screenshot on her story that said Beyonce said lions attack, and I wanted to punch the person next to me, and I was like,
I almost punched the lady next to me in the face, and I said, as did I. There was a man sitting next to me, and I almost punched him in the throat.
I almost punched Beyonce in the throat. If she had been near me at the time, if I could have jumped through the screen, I would have punched that lion in the throat.
Sydney,
so bad.
Sydney,
just imagine the little black girl jumping into the screen, punching the shit out of Nala.
Lions attack!
I was like, that was horrible. Then
you have to come home. We really needed you.
I was like, oh my!
I loved it. I said, this deep voice. It makes me want to do just that. It makes me want to go home. It made me want to get up from the theater and go home because Beyonce told me to go home.
It made me want to go home because I didn't want to watch any more of the movie.
All right, I'm done talking to you. So let's get into the great, the wonderful, the best thing that has ever blessed my ears. Almost, the gift.
Wait.
No, I don't.
People told us to talk about Beyonce's acting.
Okay, so when we ask people to send us things that they want us to talk about, these are the things that I got this week. I want to hear. Well, one of the things was colorism, which we will get to.
Okay.
I want to hear y'all talk about colorism. I want to hear y'all talk about Beyonce, her acting, and just her in general in Lion King. And another question was, can y'all talk about something where y'all have a difference of opinion? Like a little debate. And I said, what a time to be alive, because I'm sure we will do all of those things.
Yeah, just from the Beyonce. But seriously, like, I know you're a fan. I know that's your mom. But you really thought her acting was good in The Lion King?
I think Beyonce does no wrong.
Wow. Okay, let me say this. I was talking to Kira last night, and I told her, I said, I literally went into The Lion King like, I mean, how bad could it be? It's a cartoon. You know, you can't see her face. Nothing. I mean, all she has to do is just say the lines. She made me eat those words because, wow, that shit was terrible. Every time she spoke, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Again, we go back to Sydney. Can you give me some lines from The Lion King? Simba, is that you? You have to come home. We really needed you. And scene. Go.
Are you trying to say
channel your inner Nala?
Are you trying to say haven't had time to get into the character? I haven't had time.
Neither did Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter. She was too busy in Africa trying to formulate this wonderful present, which was the album.
Wow, I can't believe you're in this much denial about this. There's no way you want to be an actress. There is no way you thought that on a scale of
people hate Beyonce in every acting thing that she does.
On the scale of Karrueche to Denzel. In terms of great acting,
I've never seen anything Karrueche was in.
Oh well, you don't want to.
Damn, I thought you liked Claus.
I like Karrueche, but no. I mean, mind you, in
are you like Claus for
Niecy Nash? But in Claus, like, and I'd hate to try to like take away people's like great abilities, but I think to play a thought, to play a hoe, I don't think that's a very hard role to play, and that's her role pretty much in that show.
God damn.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's okay. I mean, again, you know, I don't have a negative connotation for that.
Amen. Hoe is life.
Yeah. So say that to say, in that particular show, it's like, it's okay, it's decent, but again, she's kind of like Nicki Minaj in Barbershop 3. Like, a monkey could play that part.
And a monkey did play that part.
And that'll be it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Is this your queen? Is this your queen?
Honestly, is this your queen?
Is this your queen?
Is Nala y'all queen? I want to get on Pride Rock and be like, this is your
I
queen.
don't even know Onika's name in that. Whatever. It was probably Nicki.
The only reason why we know Beyonce name in this is because she's playing a historical character. She has reprised the role. This ain't
I remember Sharon from Obsessed.
Yeah, I remember it too. It was, you know what? Actually, wait.
So are we moving on?
No. This is my last thing. What I heard when she said, "Simba, come home," was, "You touched my child." That's what I heard.
You came into my house.
I was like, "Oh,
you touched my child."
And I don't even think her acting was that.
Come here, bitch.
I don't even think her acting was that bad and Obsessed, because again, I was like, nobody could have pulled those lines off. Like, I was like, you could put Taraji, insert Viola Davis, insert any grand actress, insert Sandra Bullock. If you give anybody those lines, they're gonna be like, "Come here, bitch." Right? Like, I was just like, that ain't it. So
I lived.
Mm-hmm.
I lived the whole movie. The movie touched me. Of course, I cried like a fucking baby.
For Obsessed?
No, Mufasa. There was a lady behind us literally sobbing. And I was like, wow, I thought I was going to be fucked up by this scene.
Even
you are extra fucked up by this scene.
You talking about this version? The new version?
I mean, it's just more sensitive for me.
Oh, I understand. I completely understand. Okay. Because I was about to say.
You don't think it did enough?
Even when he was falling, I was like, this don't look good in whatever 4000D this is. This don't look good. I was like, this looks
a lot of D's in that.
This looks much better in 2D when he was falling. I was like, However, it did look great in this version when the hyenas came up from behind in the dust and he was like, kill him. That was a really good scene. I will give them that. So, okay. Moving on.
Okay. Moving on from Lion King. Oh, so do you have any other month in review?
I will say that I did enjoy the gifts.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to ask you, so you said you didn't necessarily like it. First of all, I love the whole album. Every single song, I've listened to it every single day, maybe twice a day. The whole thing from beginning to end. I love it so much, literally every song on it. But I just wanted to ask you how Brown Skin Girl makes you feel.
I think it came at a very great time. Like, timing is always, if you're paying attention, I feel like, and I'm pretty sure there's much more going on, even on a skin bleaching level, maybe what's going on in Africa, maybe what's going on in Jamaica, because even just watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, they got into the skin bleaching that's really, I think it's popular in Jamaica.
I know it's more popular in Caribbean countries.
So, but just even on like, just as far as how my world is concerned, have that coming right after this Chris Brown bullshit, I was just like, oh, it's perfect timing to combat this horrible nonsense that's going on.
I want y'all to know, Blue Ivy said you're beautiful, your skin look like pearls, baby. You're beautiful, your skin look like pearls, because Blue Ivy Carter said it.
I listened to it again last night and I definitely enjoyed it more. But that's what I was trying to tell you. Like, sometimes I have to hear things more than once. And this is a new style for Beyonce. Like, I think, again, you said that she was trying to make the album. Is this the same album where she was like went over to, like, and tried to got real Africans?
Her love letter to Africa.
Yeah. So, like, I've never heard her. I think there were certain songs even when I was like, is this Beyonce in auto-tune? She don't need auto-tune. What is this? It had to be like.
Yeah, it was just, I think, playing with sound. And
and
she said that she feels like they kind of created their own genre out of mixing American producers with African sounds and drums and artists.
It was definitely a new thing for me to hear as far as her voice is concerned. Because even like, I'm like, Beyonce don't need auto-tune. But I was like also trying to understand it. I'm like, no, she's trying to go for something. So I was like, okay, I get it. So I definitely appreciated it. And there were a couple other songs. Power. That song is fire.
Keys to the Kingdom.
Yeah,
that's fire. It shakes my boots. I love the song.
I like that one. Then there's the it's something about, I feel like it's about like going to heaven. I forgot what the song is called though. But like, I see you on the other side. That's another beautiful one. Like, even when the song first starts, I'm like, this is what it sounds like in heaven. Right before the Tupac starts playing.
Find Your Way Back. Wow.
I don't know if
I don't know if Gullah Gullah would go with this, but I want a Gullah Gullah when I hear that.
I'm not sure what a Gullah Gullah is.
Find your way back.
Oh, okay,
that
yeah.
leg thing that Rihanna did.
Gotcha. Yeah, I definitely appreciate the album. I definitely appreciate all of Beyonce's hard work. Again, I think she's an amazing talent. Just not acting.
Mood Forever.
That one didn't do it for me.
The Queen said, "Stay in your struggle."
I have to listen to them again.
Oh my God.
That. So yeah,
well,
thank you guys
just hang out with me. I listen to it all day, every day.
Okay, we'll do. Honestly, the first time I heard it, I was like, I probably wouldn't play this album again.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
oh God, I literally loved all of it.
It was a strain for me, but I will give it. I definitely, like I said, have enjoyed it. Like I tried to listen to the last half of it last night so I could be prepared for the podcast this morning. But yeah, definitely Power, definitely Other Side, definitely. Damn, I don't forget. But yes, it's great. It's got great things on it.
Yes.
All right.
If you haven't listened and stream it 5 trillion times.
Yes.
Beyonce is giving Lion King so many coins. Or like she is bringing him so many coins.
Before we move on, can we talk about how many checks they probably had to cut? I saw Pharrell Williams' name pop up.
So I said, I wonder how long Beyonce has been, for one, working on it. I mean, it's a whole album. She just came off of Coachella, having twins, doing all these things. I'm like, how does this woman find the time? She's the GOAT. Like, you cannot deny her work ethic.
Absolutely.
But
not.
I was like, how long has she known about this role? And then I was like, Mario was like, since at least before Jay-Z said, you're like Chief Keef meets Rafiki, who's been Lion King to you, in one of his verses. And I was like, these heifers have probably known about this movie and her role for 25 years.
Yeah, they probably knew about it.
They probably knew about it as soon as the first one came out. They're
right.
like, Beyonce in 25 years, she's going to do this role.
Precisely.
My God.
Yeah, I was thinking about how big James Earl Jones' check was. I was like, that was probably a very fat check.
And so did you see when Tina Lawson posted Beyonce's hair? Like she was flat ironing her hair or something like that. So she posted, and it was like this picture of Beyonce with this, of course, long, beautiful hair. And in the background, like if you zoom in, you can see the track list for The Gift. And I was like, first of all, the Carters don't play. So that had to be by design. They be trying to like, leave you little clues here and there. Like you can't necessarily read it, but you can see that it's the track list. Like it looks the exact same as the real track list. And I was like, wow. Had I been zooming in on Miss Tina's things? Every time she does a corny joke, I'm going to have to listen extra close because something has to do with my queen and I'm going to have to know what it is ahead of time.
Easter egg?
Easter eggs.
Yes. So yes, cut.
Cut the check.
Right. There were, oh man.
All right, month in review. What else? So we're officially done with Lion King. How long have we been talking about Lion King?
It's been like 35 minutes.
Wonderful. 35 minutes of Lion King.
So we hope y'all listen to that for 35 minutes.
This is what y'all asked for.
Honestly, if you watch that whole movie and I find out you cut this podcast off, I'm going to be like, you're a terrorist. Because I wanted to cut that movie off. I would have definitely listened to this podcast over that movie.
I have to keep being Jim Halpert in the camera over here because I just can't. I can't condone what she's saying over here.
I condone what I'm saying. I actually don't care how many of y'all attack me in my DMs. I said
flood the DMs, Hive.
What I said.
Oh my God. So one time Sydney said something about Beyonce and I got on Instagram and I said, would you still be friends with somebody if they were talking shit about your mom, blah, blah, blah? Like, how could you be somebody's best friend and talk shit about their mom? And people was DMing me like left and right, like, whatever it is, Aisha, like, I've never seen you like beef with somebody on the internet or like, don't let this person get you out of character or no, you shouldn't be their friend anymore. And I was like, yo, I'm talking about Beyonce and Sydney. Like,
yeah. And I was
people were really like,
and you added me.
I've never seen you.
You added me, and I did. I got a business
you.
page, so I could see how many people came to my page and clicked on that shit. Like I was like, all these people probably clicked on it. Was like, who the fuck is this?
Who the fuck is talking about Aisha's mom?
And they probably saw it and was like, I was ready to attack. I was ready to pounce.
People were really like, oh my God, Aisha, don't let this person get you out of character. And I was like, I mean, I'm only slightly kidding, but I'm just kidding, guys.
Right. All right. That is it for me for month in review. I only came with one thing because I had a full checklist.
Okay.
Yes, that was it.
So I just have one more for a month in review.
Okay.
It's an idiot alert.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard or seen this. You be a little detached from the things. Lil Duval. Uh-oh. So you don't know?
No.
Okay. So Lil Duval posted with his ugly ass. I hate the big, curly, bushy hair look. I'm not saying stop wearing it, ladies. I personally just don't like it. I like every other hairstyle, though, especially the straight hair look. But that big afro lion shit, no can do. And it seems like women love that shit the most. Sad emoji. I think they like it because they think it's a distraction from imperfections or some shit. And to all the black women, I'm speaking on everybody. I hate seeing bushy head white women too. Had to say that because I know how y'all get. Eye roll emoji. Even though y'all still gonna be mad, shrug emoji.
And I'm not, this is not me condoning it at all, but this is the thing with comedy that's so scary to me. Like, I'd be like, where is the line? Because they like even just hilarious. She said things and I'd be like,
she's an idiot as well. No, she's an idiot as well. I just want to say, Lil Duval, you small, ignorant, insecure, self-hating buffoon. Don't you have a daughter?
She must
Stop. Don't you have a mother?
They probably have permed hair.
What a fucking idiot. And to say I don't like bushy head on white people either. Really, nigga? Really? Did you think that was going to make it better? And the thing is, people do so much shucking and jiving and tap dancing, trying to get attention. He got his wish. Everybody's talking about him. Everybody's reposting him. I'm sure he's getting followers. Some people are keying in his comments saying, damn, you can't even have a preference no more. Ha ha. People are so mad about what you said. Because it is a direct attack on black women. Mm-hmm. First of all, y'all don't want us wearing frontals. You don't want us wearing wigs. You don't want us wearing wigs. But now we can't even wear the fucking shit that grows out of our head.
Right. And that right there is exactly what I was talking about when I was saying, like, I'm afraid of what's going to happen if this Chris Brown thing goes unchecked. And maybe that's completely uncorrelated, right? But who's to say it's not? Like, who's to say Chris Brown don't let dark-skinned girls in his VIP and he said that shit out loud and he's still not canceled? Let me talk about how I don't like bushy hair, 4C, because I don't know hair types, so I don't even know if that's right. But basically, it's, again, an attack. Because, and it's like we were talking about last podcast, if it grows out of your head, it's beautiful. And there are so many women, I feel like, because of shit like that, because of their parents, because of society, because of magazines or whatever, who don't wear their own natural hair at all, ever. You know what I'm saying? And it's because, like, and I mean, again,
and I know plenty, and I know so many. Yeah. And it's so sad because it's not a preference. Yeah. It's not a preference. It's a direct attack. Because if it was just a preference, you would just have your preference and go about your day. But for you to take the time out to talk about how much you hate black women's hair and then try to say, well, I don't like that bushy shit on white people either. Right. Because white women have bushy hair. Yeah. Have you washed your goddamn marbles? What a fucking idiot. What a small man. Like, and not that I would take beauty advice from some 4'7" idiot, but what an idiot. Like, I read it and I was like, this is the most disgusting thing I think I've seen in quite some time.
That literally how you feel right now is exactly how I felt when Chris Brown said, when his security guard said no darkies. I was like,
right. But, and
that's not me trying to like say it's like a battle. I'm saying like literally how you feel right now.
No. Yeah, no. How I felt then. I literally got warm. And again, it wasn't about, it's not about preference because you wouldn't take your time out to bash women about your preference. Your preference is just a preference. Yeah. And if I preferred, which I don't necessarily, if I preferred dark skin over light skin or light skin over dark skin as far as my mate or what I think is attractive in my personal mate, I wouldn't take the time out to say, I specifically don't like this. I would simply like what I like. Right. I wouldn't have to take the time out to bash anyone else, which is, it kind of goes to the same thing of it for black people, say black men who date white women. Mm-hmm. If that is your quote unquote preference or that's what you like, that's one thing. But to take your time out and say, I date white women because I hate black women and I hate dark skin, I hate brown skin, I hate my mama, I hate my goddamn self. That's different than having a preference. Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to say, what a small, ignorant idiot. I hope nobody takes beauty advice from somebody who looks like a muskrat. His facial hair is trash. I wouldn't want to sit on that. And I just hate everything about him, everything he said, everything he stands for. Fuck him and his mama for not raising him appropriately to be saying ignorant shit like that.
Yeah, but apparently did you hear when he was like, I don't want to misquote him, but he was on the Breakfast Club and he had basically said, they were talking about transgender.
Yes. And
he said, I would kill that nigga.
With the T word all up in the interview. Yeah, I would kill that nigga, this, that, and third. And I'm like, trans people literally get killed, like have a life expectancy of 35. Like, let's not make jokes about killing people.
Yeah. Right. And it's crazy.
And men say that so much. Like, and I mean, this is a whole another conversation for a whole nother day, but yeah, I just think he's just full of ignorance. And I mean, he does these things to be talked about, which brava, you got to be talked about.
And it works.
Let's talk about how not all publicity is good publicity. Yeah. And I feel very sorry for your daughter is all I have to say.
Yeah, and again, I think, I don't know if he has a daughter or not, but in my head, I'm just like, I hope she has exactly what you're talking about. Because you need to be taught a lesson. And when she go to school and get picked on.
The saddest part is that I hope she don't. Because then she's going to be brainwashed with even her own daddy don't like the way she looked. So how can we expect this woman to grow up and feel secure about herself when her own daddy is bashing the way that she looked? Yeah. So on one hand, it's like, yeah, I hope these people kind of have to be faced with their own insecurities. Like, you would have to face every day looking at your daughter with bushy, curly, coily, kinky, big hair. But at the same time, it's like, why? So you can project your insecurities onto her? Yeah. No, absolutely not.
And that's so unfortunate, though, because I think that's the only means of changing anybody is to, for them. Because even like I remember hearing in school, I think at some point that like people started becoming more and more open and more like, just open to gay people when gay people started being their family.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I hate gay people. I beat a gay person ass. Oh, my mama came out last week. Oh,
okay.
Never mind. But I mean, then you got some people who still won't change their minds. But I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, it's unfortunate because it's like, if it's not you, it don't matter. If it's not someone you love.
You have to be faced with, I mean, and anything that you kind of project like that is your fear.
Yeah.
I know, plenty of black people who always, hate white people this, hate white people that. I'm like, well, if they were your family, you might understand that making generalizations isn't the most fair thing, and vice versa. When white people hate black people and have all these racist ideas and things that they were brought up with and their prejudices, okay, well, once you have a mixed cousin or a mixed child or whatever, you might start thinking differently, or at least be faced with the things that you're thinking.
Yeah, but hopefully, I guess all you can do is pray that we'll get to a point where we don't have to literally experience it ourselves, or it have to be a loved one before we care and have empathy for one another.
I mean, people simply just are not, I guess, not everyone that is born with compassion and empathy, which is crazy, because I'm like, God damn, I thought that was at least the one thing humans had a one up on.
Right.
Guess not. So fuck that tomfool. No, I'm talking about. Anyway, we can move on.
All right.
He's a fucking fool. Okay. So blank while black. So I have two. Cindy has one. So I'll start.
All righty.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So at C Wells is at SE Wells. Okay. This is a person who posted a video. He says he was driving and he saw people kind of going like around the road, whatever, and he was like, why are people going around? He realizes there's like a big puddle of water, what have you. So he's driving, he goes around this car that's in front of him, a person who has their windows down. Mind you, it's monsooning outside. And apparently some of the water, when he drives by, gets inside of this person's car. This person is a white woman, the man who's driving is black. So the video starts with him going like, what? Like, lady, like, what do you want me to do? She was like, you drove by me. Let me put on my Karen voice. You drove by me and you got water all inside my car. And he's like, ma'am, like, what are you talking about? Why is your window down? Like, I didn't know. I didn't do it on purpose. And so this woman tries to call the cops because this man drove by her and water got in her car. Mind you, Susan, why is your window down in the fucking rain? He's like, you're going to call the cops on me? Because I splashed your car? He goes, roll the window up before I splash it again. It was so funny, and I really wish I could play it on this podcast. But please go to his page and find a video. BET put an article up on their website, but it is the funniest thing ever. But yeah, a woman tries to call the cops on a black man because water splashed inside her car when it's monsooning outside, and she has her goddamn window down.
What's a name that starts with a W?
Huh?
What's the name that starts with a W?
A man?
A woman?
A woman? Starts with a W?
Yeah.
Wanda? I don't know.
Water Wanda? What? Because they used to like, they remember like cobblestone Karen? We gotta give her a name.
God, what a fucking idiot. I'm gonna call the cops on you for wetting my car in the fucking rain. You literally cannot breathe while black, and that's just the sad fact of life.
Right.
You can't breathe. You cannot be a cop per last week.
Right.
You cannot be selling cigarettes. You can't be selling CDs. You can't be selling water outside your house. You can't even drive in the motherfucking rain.
Yeah, well, we already know you can't drive while black.
No, you can't drive, but you also cannot drive in the rain.
Okay.
There are many times you cannot drive as a black person. One, while having black skin, but two, while in rain.
Yep, absolutely. That sounds hilarious. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
It was so funny. I have to play it for you, but what a fucking idiot. He's like in the video, it's so funny because he says, you're gonna call the cops because I splashed your car? Roll it up before I splash you again. I was like, oh my God, I'm so weak. Because when black people are like, it's above me now. It's above me now. Oh well. Like, I'm like, that sounds great. It sounds very professional. It for sure will make the other person look like a fool. And you will, stand there in your class and your grace. Mm-hmm. I, however, will be screaming, roll your window up before I splash your ass again. That'll be me. Every time. What a fucking idiot.
That's hilarious. I need to see this for real.
I can't wait to show you. It's pure comedy genius. I hope he makes a website and sells t-shirts also.
That have water
roll
on
it up
them.
before I splash you again.
We're about to have a full like marketplace for just blank while black.
Honestly, can we start
tees.
that? Can we start a website for selling the black things of blank while black?
That would be lit. Sponsors. So mine is another throwback. It is throwback to Eric Garner. Who was killed 5 years ago. And the reason why I definitely wanted to do this one was because there have been like developments. I actually looked it up this morning. There were 7 people arrested for blocking traffic on FDR Drive, and this was this past Monday, and they were protesting the new decision regarding the Eric Garner case. And that protest was a part of 11 straight days of protests, which has been promised by Black Lives Matter, because they want a day for each time Eric Garner said, "I can't breathe." And that was not something that I knew. I didn't know he said, "I can't breathe" 11 different times. That's ridiculous. And so again, like I said earlier, it was 5 years ago, and the police officer is Daniel Pantaleo, and
so go throw eggs at his house.
He used what was a banned chokehold. It was banned by the NYPD, so of course there's that. But the department,
it was banned before he did it.
To my understanding, and then the Department of Justice is not planning to charge him, and but he could still lose his job.
Yeah, because they just announced that he will not be charged.
Yeah.
Actually, the day Sydney was wearing her "I Can't Breathe" shirt, the last day we recorded, was the day that kind of verdict came out. It came out later in the day, so I don't think we knew it at the time.
No, we didn't. And the wild part is, what was wild to me was that it says he could still lose his job, and I'm like, so you're saying he's still working? And in my head, again, I'm kind of like, at a minimum though, like if it's a banned chokehold by the organization that you work for, like I would lose my job if I talked to a customer crazy.
There was
chokehold.
2 police officers, and I'm not going to remember the state and all that shenanigans right now because it wasn't on my subject. But there was a police officer. He was like a chief or something like that. He posted like on Facebook that one of the congresswomen deserved a round, and not the kind that she used to serve, meaning like gunshots. Not round of sex, not round of drinks. He's talking about like she deserves a round or whatever. And one of his, I guess employees, one of the other officers liked the post, and they both got fired. And I said, wow, so you can be fired for saying someone deserves to be killed, but not for actually killing them.
Yeah, that's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm happy that they fired those 2 idiots who publicly made racist comments and threatening comments, but the people who literally murder people get off. Like
Yeah, it's wild. And again, it just kind of comes back to this theme that seems to be very overarching in our podcast, and it's this idea that people just don't have empathy. Because again, if I killed somebody in a chokehold I was not supposed to be using,
I would lock myself up.
You know what I mean? Like, same thing with, actually, I don't even want to bring it up because I don't want to misquote it or use the wrong state, use the wrong people, or anything like that. But yeah, I would be like, oh no, I killed someone. I need to go see someone.
Like, why do you want to live and breathe
anymore.
And be able to look at your own family every day knowing that you took that from somebody else?
And how do you live after that? Like, in my head, I'm like, if I kill somebody on purpose, accidentally, like, but again, I guess it's
because especially if you're saying that it was an accident, then how could you live with yourself? If it was on purpose, okay, if that was your intention, maybe that's one thing. I can live with myself because I did it on purpose. But if every time you're like, oh, I was fearing for my life, I just reacted, I was scared, I reacted out of fear instead of logic and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, okay, well, how do you live with yourself then?
Yeah.
Because now this family got to live in fear every day.
Go back to the regular.
Now that this has happened to their husband or their son or something, they know that can happen to their nephew or their cousin or their other child. And again,
like, it's not just happening like, and it's behind closed doors. Like, the whole world saw that, so it didn't just scare the family who got the information back. Kind of like with
it's traumatic. It's hard to see these videos. I mean, we are literally every single day bombarded with videos of people being murdered on camera, and we're expected to have some sort of normalcy. Like, oh, when you see the cops, you need to respond this, and this way. I'm like, well, I just watched 7 videos of people who look like me being murdered for no reason, for saying and doing things that I could see myself saying and doing in those same situations, carrying myself with the most composure I possibly can, and I watch them get murdered on TV, on video. Yeah. How can I possibly go from day to day? Like, this is traumatic. Yeah. This is a traumatic era that Black people have to live in and walk in every day. So just because something didn't come out today doesn't mean that I shouldn't live in some sort of fear. Yeah. The fear that rattled my body the day that Donald Trump won the presidency, when I woke up in the morning and found out that he won, because I went to bed early the night of the election. Yeah. And when I woke up and saw that, like, I couldn't believe it was real. Yeah. But walking to the bus stop, I was scared. Getting on the bus, I was scared. Looking at all the Black people in their faces and seeing literally solemn on every Black person. I didn't see any Black people smile that day. I remember walking through campus, past the tree, on a yard, etc., and not seeing one black person smile.
Yeah.
And I remember just feeling like I wanted to hug every black person I saw.
Yeah.
And I'm like, some people may not feel exactly how I feel, but I'm in sheer terror right now, and I want to hug everybody I see. And that's the state that I feel like we are in 24/7.
And again, I think we could just get somewhere if we could just kind of step outside ourselves and just understand that someone's experience is different. Like, okay, you voted for Trump, cool. Not cool, but like, then you didn't go like, wow, why is everybody so sad? What's going on here? Let me do some research.
Right, because it's not about, oh, my team lost. You know, I was cheering for the Eagles and somebody else won. Like, this isn't about whether you identify as Republican or Democratic. Right. Because your views and your morals, it's not a difference of, your political views. This is a difference of morals and values. Mm-hmm. You have none.
Clearly. Or you're willing to sell them for whatever benefit you got from voting for Trump. Because again, like maybe,
hey, I'm going to sell my morals for tax purposes.
Yeah, or I'm going to make a lot of money off this oil pipe that's going to poison these Native American people's water. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to do it anyway because it makes me money.
If your morals can be traded for any kind of monetary gain or political gain, what have you, then you don't have them. They're just not there. They're simply not there.
Stand for something or fall for anything.
Yeah, very sad.
The name of the day. So.
Very sad. So yeah. So then the next thing in Blank While Black that I have. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you done?
Yep, that was it.
Okay. Donald Trump telling 4 congresswomen to go back where they came from.
Oh yeah.
Xenophobic, racist, of course, all of those things. And I'm sure people have heard the story a million times. You know, it was 4 women he quote unquote called the squad. 2 of them being black, but all of them being minority women. Telling them to come back to the countries that they came for because they need to go fix those countries and maybe come back to America, the most powerful and best nation in the world, with their resolves, what have you. Donnie, your mother is from Scotland. Your wife you bought from Slovenia. And your grandparents are from Germany. So why don't y'all take y'all caucus asses back to where y'all came from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it now, like when you were saying that just now, I was like, yeah, I saw that. I didn't dive into it, and I think again, it's like I'm wondering why I didn't dive into it. And I think it's just all this trauma all the time. Like it was like this morning I looked up Eric Garner and found out that the police officer is not going to be charged with anything, and then it's like saw that and I was just like, it's too much. I don't know what he's talking about, but I see that he's telling somebody to go back, and mind you, that's enough from him. And whoever you talking to.
Oh, so get this. So. He said that to these people. You need to go back, fix the countries where you came from, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Talking to these women. Only one of them was an immigrant. The other ones may have been children or descendants of, but all the other ones were born here in America.
Either way, like in my head, as soon as I hear...
once again, your wife was purchased, basically. Your mama was purchased, too, because his father was a prominent realtor. Or whatever. But, yeah, these people were purchased. So let's not talk about people who come here for actually bettering their lives. Let's not talk about the women who will sell their bodies to rich men for their green cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whenever someone says go back to where you came from, you already lost me because I'm like, who are you?
So Donnie, fuck you and your whole lineage.
Okay, right.
Take y'all asses back to Europe. How about that?
Okay.
And then, so what I brought that up to say was also he was at a rally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at ECU.
Greenville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Which is where, I woke up whenever he won his presidency. Me and Sydney went to East Carolina University, which is in Greenville, North Carolina, where they were chanting at this rally, send her back, send her back, send her back. To which Donnie said nothing, right? And then during interviews, when people are like, why did you basically allow that to concur? He said, I want to say that I don't agree with that, by the way, but that these people were incredible patriots to their country. So you didn't agree with it. He says that he tried to stop them, which he didn't try to stop them. He said, I tried to talk louder over them. Sir, that's not stopping them. Like saying stop, saying, hey, I don't agree with what you're saying. Those things would be stopping them.
Yeah, right.
Letting them finish chanting for 13 seconds is how long it lasted. Letting them chant for 13 seconds, send her back, send her back, send her back, and then starting to talk again is not stopping what they're saying. Like,
right.
You let them say those ignorant, racist things that they said, and then started talking again on your point, and then called them incredible patriots. Same thing he did during the Charlottesville, Virginia riots, when literal terrorists ran over protesters, and then he said, well, there were bad guys on both sides and there were good guys on both sides. I'm like, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah, in my head,
that's the word of the day, or words of the day. Fucking idiot.
This can't be real. Like when he say shit like that, I'll be like, this can't be real. Like this you cannot really feel this way. Kind of like Tommy Lauren. Like I remember being like, you can't actually think that. Like you just got to be clout chasing.
He's such an idiot.
So,
all these idiots, I can't.
Yeah. All these idiots.
Send them back. Send the Europeans back. Why don't y'all go fix y'all shits? And then y'all actually stay over there. Don't bring your ideas back over here again.
Oh my God!
We're sick of the shit.
Shake my head. All right. Does that wrap up?
That wraps up Blank While Black.
All right. And next we got Sexpectations, which I actually have a question for.
Oh, God.
I don't know who should go first. You said yours is going to stress me out. Did you say that right?
I think so. I think it'll cause you stress.
Okay. Well, I'll go first.
Okay.
So
now
what is the best thing your relationship has taught you?
Just currently?
It could be a past relationship. It could be your current relationship. It could be just something that it might not necessarily even have to be the best, but I guess just something that comes to mind you feel like you maybe didn't know before, or something you improved on. Just wherever your heart goes, wherever that question takes your heart.
Okay. The best thing, I guess, evolution. We've been at this on and off like 7, almost 8 years, which is a long time. That's me being 17 years old and I'm 25 now. Yeah. So that's a long time, kind of, on and off, but also learning in that process. Yeah. Because I'm very team if you're not happy, dip. I don't think that you always have to stress yourself out trying to teach and grow and mold people, right? You have the full right to, not be happy. You have the right to not be happy and leave a situation. But I think evolution, because we kind of talked about soulmates last time. And I think that's a hard idea for me, because I know that I'm always evolving. I'm always learning. I'm always growing. I'm always even changing my ideas. If you talk to me tomorrow about this podcast, I may have different ideas and different things to say about things that I covered today. Right, absolutely. Why? Because maybe just after I say it aloud, I feel different, or maybe somebody presents to me different ideas and I feel different. But evolution, and the fact that people are not always going to say the same. People are going to change. And even though you feel like I'm always growing, I'm always moving, I'm always changing, and people may not be ready to change with me, and that has to be okay with me. You can't expect people to always grow and change and evolve at the same rate, at the same pace, or in the same direction as you. Right. But I think in general, we've done a good job. And by good job, I just mean we're going forward. Yeah. And again, it's not always at the same pace, but that you can always learn people. Yes, absolutely. You can learn how to respond to me as an individual. Yes, I'm always changing, but I'm a sensitive person. I'm very passionate and compassionate and empathetic. Those are things about me. So if you know those things about me, you kind of know how to talk to me, how to comfort me when I need it, or how to be by my side or encourage me. I don't think I'm the best self-motivator. So I kind of need people around me or in my circle that are positive and that are motivating for me, or, I might let too much negativity in. So I would have to say the best thing would be evolution. I feel like you have to let people grow. Yeah. A lot of times we want to put people in a box and say, this person did X, Y, and Z to me, so this is who this person is. That's just, one tiny piece of who that person was. Maybe this person messed up. Maybe they had a bad day or whatever. Like, you can't take that and just run with it and say, this is all they'll ever be. Wash my hands with this person or this idea of this person, because people can always change and people can always grow and evolve with you or at the same time as you.
Absolutely. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Should I ask this back?
What relationship?
But no, just like out of people that you've talked to, come across, dated, talked to, what have you, what has a male what has a male taught you?
Am I gonna have to answer this one and your other sexpectation question? Great.
I mean,
I'm
semi prepared to answer mine as well.
Okay. All right. And a good thing is I kind of thought about this because I had written down. I was like, just in case she asked me back, so I was able to prepare.
Yeah. You gotta be able to answer it back.
I definitely want to be more affectionate in my next situation, my next relationship, because I realized I haven't seen that in my household. I was having a conversation with an older gentleman at my internship.
Come on, learning from traumas.
And he was saying, like, these kids, they haven't seen affection. They haven't seen their parents be affectionate. That's why they don't know how to be affectionate these days. And when he said that, again, I think everything's black. I don't think things are black and white. I think everything is gray. I think everybody has a different experience. But when he said it, I was like, this is my particular experience. I did not grow up in a household where we ate dinner together. I did not grow up in a household where my mother and father were sleeping in the same room, or They didn't kiss each other. They didn't. All I remember, I don't remember my childhood very well. I'm not trying to say there was never any love there or never any affection there, but I just remember a lot of tears and a lot of, just a lot of.
So you feel like that holds you back from affection?
I feel like I've never seen it demonstrated. So like,
so figuring out what that means for you,
what that looks like. I don't know what that looks like. I guess like just being affectionate towards each other, whether it be a physical affection. I haven't seen that. Whether it be a emotional affection, it's just not something I've seen, and so it's just foreign to me, and I think that's one reason why I can't do it. I think the other reason why I can't do it, it's more funny to me because my mom, the only thing, if I don't remember anything else my mama ever said, I remember men don't want to do nothing but get you pregnant and leave you high and dry.
Okay, Mom.
And I was like,
come on, preach.
And I remember being like, okay. So literally everybody that ever approached me, every man that ever approached me, I was like,
excuse me, sir, you trying to leave me high and dry?
You trying to leave me high and dry and pregnant? You trying to leave me barefoot and pregnant out here? Ain't gonna happen to me. So I had a wall up. I had a guard up. So I wasn't very affectionate. Like I think I'm very affectionate towards my female friends because again, I'm like, at worst, yeah, you might do some damage. You might we might not be friends anymore. But like when you are in a relationship with somebody, that is a lot of power for them to hurt you and stuff. So I would be like, let me put this wall up. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want no parts. I'm not trying to be barefoot and pregnant out here. So you can back up.
Nor do I want to be barefoot and pregnant.
Right. So say that to say I'm not affectionate like towards men because one, that guard is up. I'm like, you probably gonna break my heart. You're gonna say great things and not do shit, and your actions gonna be different. And then also just not seeing it demonstrated, not growing up in that environment, not growing up in a home that I thought was built on love. And so that's really something that I'm like, I really want to make sure that when I'm in a relationship with somebody, when I do, whether I get married or not or whatever, I just want to make sure we build a house and we build a home, and that home is made of love and there's a lot of affection in it. If I do have children, which is not my plan right now, but if I do have children, I want to make sure that they see parents being affectionate and we eat dinner together and we know each other and we get to know each other. And it's kind of like going back to even what we were talking about with the Smiths, like letting my children be individuals and just trying to guide them through life. And then there was one other thing. Oh, not taking people for granted. I think that it is just human nature to kind of get used to things. And you just get used to this person, and I think you can easily start taking them for granted. And I know that's something I'm worried about with myself, because what I think about most is that painting you got me for graduation. I was like, that painting is beautiful. I love it. I was so appreciative of it. But now I'd be like, how often?
Issa Rae.
Yes.
A painting of Issa Rae. That says, I'm rooting for everybody black.
Yes, and it was magnificent. It's got gold in it, and when the sun hits it just right, it's a beautiful time. But I hung it in a particular place. I was like, I want to make sure I see this. I want to make sure the sun can hit it at this angle, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, how many days have I walked past this painting or walked past all the things that I've been blessed with, and just because I'm so stuck in survival mode, because I'm so stuck in all the things I have to get done today, I'm not taking a moment to like smell the roses. And I think that can transcend into your relationship too. Like, I'm just used to you being here now.
Yeah,
so
getting
it's not
used to people
anymore.
taking advantage of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking them for granted.
Those are the two things I want to work on the most while I'm single, so that way I have them in place the next time I'm in a relationship.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I learned.
Respect.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So what is your sexpectation question? I don't like that laugh. I don't like that at all.
Okay. So one is the first part is yes, no, maybe, or whatever. Okay. The second part is more like a laboratory.
Okay.
Sid the Great, my good sis, fellow queen.
I feel like I'm in the dentist chair right now.
Yeah, you are. Would you ever date outside of your race?
Oh, that's not that bad.
Okay, you can go ahead and answer that short answer.
Yes.
Okay. And can you be pro-black and date outside your race?
That's a good question. Now that, again, I think that's another gray rather than black and white. I don't think that, kind of like when Dr. Umar Johnson was on The Breakfast Club, and he was like, I don't have respect for you if you got a white wife. Essentially, that's what I heard. Now, again, that might be a misquote, and I apologize if I'm misquoting him, but that's what I heard and I was just like, I don't know if I could go that far. But I also at the same time understood him saying like the greatest contribution you can have to the black community is to marry a black woman. But I guess the reason why I say I could date outside my race is because, again, Issa Rae says black women should date Asian men since neither one of them are desired by anybody. And I was like, well, that's facts. Because I literally, and it's crazy because I don't know if you ever heard this before, but in my psychology class, we talked about the scale of desirability pretty much. And it was like between white, black, and Asian, black men are the most desired, then white, and then Asian men. Asian men are the least desired of those three races. It's the opposite for women. White women are the most desired, then Asian, and then Black, I think. Or Asian and white might switch because of that passivity, just different. And then and it's really on a scale of masculine and feminine. Black men are seen as the most masculine, and that's why they're the most desired. And Black women are seen as the least feminine, and that's why they're the least desired.
Okay.
And so say that to say, I'm like, when Issa Rae said what she said, I was like, girl, we must have took the same psychology class, because facts. Let me get an Asian man, because we clearly out here.
Asian men, shoot your shot. If you got taco meat, chicken legs, you wear belly shirts, Asian men, I need you to slide in Sid Great DM.
If you tell one more lie on me, if you say what? If you tell one more lie on me in this podcast,
I would like to say that's for coming from my queen.
But, yeah, I definitely would date outside my race. But I think, and I guess I would have to say yes, you can be then, because if I can sit here and say that I am pro-Black as hell, and then be like, yeah, but I would date an Asian man, then that would be a contradiction not to say that you can't be pro-Black and date outside your race.
But are you pro-Black love if you're not living in Black love?
But I'm definitely very pro Black love, but just because I'm not in a completely Black relationship wouldn't mean that I hold my relationship to a higher standard. Like I wouldn't. Same thing with the whole like, oh, I want to date outside my race so my kids can have pretty hair. That's not why. So it's not that I think that my mixed child is more beautiful than your mixed child, than your non-mixed child, or her hair or his hair is more beautiful than your non-mixed child. It's like everybody's beautiful. Everything has beauty. Everybody just can't see it. So yeah, I think you definitely can be pro anything, because I think it's about not putting things down, really. I think I can be pro-Black if I'm in a non-Black relationship, as long as I'm not holding my non-Black relationship over any Black relationship or any Black thing. So I guess that's my answer. Do you think so? Would you date outside your race?
These are all my grays.
Okay.
Would I date outside my race? Or are we just talking about Black and white? Black, white, Asian, right?
Oh, I was saying, when you said outside your race, I was thinking the plethora of
because
all
I think that, yeah, like all the diaspora, I feel like it can be a lot of Black things, right? But would I date outside my race? I won't say no. I'm not attracted to anything outside of my race. Not only am I not attracted like physically, I don't think I would have anything to talk about.
Okay. See, and I think
or
for me,
that they would not understand.
Right. I
feel like
I get that part.
Being empathetic and understanding are different. And I want to be with a partner who understands when I say things and not just saying, she pulling that race car shit again. Or, I don't get what she's talking about. I mean, I respect her, but I don't get what she's talking about. Yeah. I want somebody who understands, and also for Black men to know how much I love them. My father is the first Black man I've ever loved. He is, for me, I know it's different for everybody, but he is my shining example of what Black love is and what it means. My dad dated and married, honestly, all races. My mother is white, but I never heard my dad say anything bad about Black women. He always, loved them, thinks they're beautiful, but, he's a person who sees, beauty in everything and everyone. He's the most loving person I ever met in my life. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of, so I've seen like those instances of people's like a mixed boy, who looks mostly Black or whatever, and may or may not identify as Black, but he likes white women. And it's like, can you be mad at him because he's going for somebody who looks like his mother? Is there something wrong with that? No, I don't necessarily think so. But for me, personally, I have no desire to date a white man. I don't think they would understand me. I don't think it would be a fun time. I can always, see one who's attractive, be like, yeah, that's a fine white boy. But I have no desire to be in a relationship with a white boy. Man.
I think for me, when I was telling somebody this the other night, I was like, I still believe in all the magic. Like I have made sure, like I literally go, I might so many days and I'm like, all right, now don't let the world taint you. Don't let the world tell you that this ain't possible or that there's impossibilities at all. Like even the other night I was watching the Cinderella movie, the one with Brandy in it, and you have a white king, a Black queen, and an Asian son. And I was like, this don't make no damn sense, but it is beautiful as fuck. And so like, and again, it's crazy because again, and this is kind of off topic, it's definitely off topic, but it's like, if they made that movie today, we would probably rip it to shreds because we'd be like, this don't make no damn sense.
I think it did get ripped to shreds, but it was just beautiful.
Yeah, and so, but now, so maybe it did, but I was about to say, but for me, I'm like, no, I think this is great. Like, I love the representation. Like, I love that, well, minus, unfortunately, there's no Hispanic people in the movie, not that I know of. But I just thought that was beautiful. So that to say, back to the question, I still believe that it's possible to date somebody who will understand, who can be empathetic, because I believe, again, in that gray, like, you have no idea. Like, you might marry a white man who studied Black history or some shit. I don't know.
Right, and again, that's
understanding, not empathetic.
No, it's empathetic, but I don't think it's understanding. if somebody is in prison, right, and you can empathetically say, it's probably very lonely, it's probably very sad, it's probably very hard to be away from your family, but you have no understanding. You cannot understand that situation. You can like maybe have an idea of it or feel like you understand, but you don't understand it. You don't know. You've never been in that situation. You can't relate to it. And I just feel like that. And I feel like the best way I can show not even show it, because it's not about, oh, I'm doing these things to prove that I'm pro-Black, because I am pro-Black. But I think that my best way of demonstrating pro-Black is loving a Black man. And loving Black people in general, but also saying, Black man, I see you. I see that you're being broken down. I see that you have a target on your back as soon as you walk out your door. I see that you're being told either rap or go to the league or shut up and dribble. I see those things that Black men face. And for me as a Black woman, I want to say, nope, I'm here for you. I will hold you. I will love you. I will protect you. You know, in my mind, you know, lionesses are the protectors, and they're also the hunters and the gatherers. And to me, that's the embodiment of a Black woman. Like, we have to do all of these things. And yes, you know, our king may have responsibilities as well, but for me it's like the nurturer, the protector, and that's who I am by nature. I want to do those things for a Black man, and I want to have a strong Black family and say, I know the world keeps telling you that you're ugly, you're unwanted, you're not deserving, you're less than, you're inferior, but I'm here as a Black woman to tell you that you're not any of those things. You are everything.
And see, I feel like I can say that through my platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I can say that on this podcast. I feel like I can say that on my blog. I can say it on my shirt, and you know, whatever it is that and just in conversation and speaking up for Black men in whatever place I'm in, and still go home to someone who might not be Black. But again, I think that the first act that you have to commit is self-love. So I think it's all about finding someone to love you. And I think we get caught up in a lot of stuff that's really bullshit. Like, I get that God gave us eyes to see, and that like, again, like, everything has beauty, everybody just can't see it. So maybe, you know, you don't find this person attractive or that person attractive, but for me, I'm just like, I really do see attractiveness in all races. And again, if I feel like this person really truly loves me, I'm sorry, I knew where I was going with that. Like, this whole, I don't date no short men, I don't date dark skinned women. I'll just be like, I feel like you kind of, what if your husband might be short, but what if he treats you amazing? You know, I think we should care more about how we're treated. Again, I want you to be attracted to the person you're with. Again, I'm not trying to ignore the fact that we can see, but it's just kind of like, I think we get caught up on things that are less important. You know what I'm saying? I think that's another reason why we don't get to experience love. And because we had up all this shit that didn't matter. Oh, you got to have a PhD. You got to drive this car. You got to live in a house with this many rooms in it. You got to be this height. You got to make this much money. And it's like, well,
and it's funny because I feel like every time somebody gets married or deeply in love in the relationship, it's always the opposite of what they had planned.
Absolutely. So that's why I'd be like, I can sit here all day and say, oh yeah, because again, on paper, I would love to marry a Black man. We literally went through, I want to be dark skinned and have a beard and this and the third. But I'm like, if he's Asian, if he's white, as long as I really do feel like, because again, I think a part of loving me is understanding my struggle. So if I feel like that's not there, then I probably wouldn't stay anyway. So I mean, I still might end up with a Black man, but I would definitely be open to dating outside my race. Even just from a learning standpoint. Like, I met a girl who was saying, like, I was able to learn Spanish because I dated Spanish partners, and I worked, and she was saying she learned Spanish on purpose because she would be at work and Spanish speaking people would come in and they'd be like, oh, you speak Spanish? And when she would say no, she was like, they would completely be like, okay, well, you can't really help me, so let me go find someone who can. And she was like, I hate it being ignored. She said, I'm this such and such sign, and I hate being ignored. So I had to learn Spanish. And so say that to say, it would be amazing because we have the culture that we created, but we don't have our true African culture. It's amazing to be around people who still have and know their culture. So I think to be able to fall into, like, I'm dating Hispanic and he's teaching me about Hispanic things. I'm dating an Asian and he's teaching me Asian things. Like, I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think it also forges, again, just from personal experience, maybe we can create a more inclusive world by opening up our doors to people who don't look and act like us. And it might have to be our husbands, and then it becomes our sons, but or our daughters. So I think I would definitely give it a try. And again, I think it's all about how you feel. And if the feeling isn't there,
and people are, individuals, and we definitely as a society generalize a lot, but I just think about the messages that, seeing Jordan Peele and seeing, Get Out, what that did, how that felt, and then to see him on the red carpet with a white wife, or This Is America, Childish Gambino, and seeing him run around with his white mother of his children. It was I want to say painful, but it definitely felt some type of way. And I know that is a personal issue that I have. Yeah. I don't necessarily disagree with interracial relationships. I am the product of one, and I get to see and understand and empathize with different types of people because of how I grew up, who I grew up around, and different environments that I was forced into. I get it, and I respect understanding and learning and loving and admiring other cultures. But I just think about how that made me feel, and it's not nothing anybody does controls how I feel. I control how I feel, or how my heart controls how I feel. I can't necessarily just change it with my mind. Like I can say one thing, but if my heart doesn't feel it, it's different. So I know that that's a personal thing that goes on with me, and I just try to even tell myself that love is love. If I believe in gay marriage or gay relationships, then I have to love and understand and respect interracial ones, intercultural ones, because if love is love, that doesn't just apply to same sex. It applies to dating outside of your race or your culture or your religion. Yeah. I wouldn't say a Muslim and a Christian can't marry because they're different. Yeah. I would say, wow, why don't you get to learn and love and respect one another? And that way you as a Christian can respect Muslims and vice versa, and build up the world around you. Right. But again, I think for me personally, I wouldn't even know what to do. Yeah. With a white man.
I get both sides, because I get you saying like it made me feel a certain way to see this black man with this white woman. And again, I think that's a societal issue, because all successful black men seem to be with everything but a dark skinned woman, or
which is a fallacy. And it's a picture that's painted for us. If you're successful, if you're rich, if you're an athlete, you're with this white woman. Yeah, or this. But I mean, 80% of marriages black men are with black women. Right. And so I mean, we have to also understand the images that are put for us as well.
Absolutely. That's very important. Because I was gonna say, on the other side of that though, I think I always come back to the fact that I'll never be able to prove which one of these black men is dating this white woman because she's a status symbol, and which one of these black men is dating this white woman because he just loves her. So that's why for me, I just be like, I'm gonna mind my business, because I remember when the Childish Gambino thing was real viral, like, oh, he's married to a white woman, but he making songs like This Is America, and I was like, I can't tell you if he married her because he loves her.
Maybe his white Nubian queen knows what's up,
or maybe he married her because status symbol. I can't tell you the difference. So I'm gonna say I hope that he did it for the right reason, which the only time I ever say there's a right and wrong typically is more of a love-hate kind of thing. It's really only right and wrong I believe in. So I'm like, if he really love her, I'm mind my business, because so many people in this world will never experience real true love, I feel like,
because of looking for something maybe physical or a status symbol or impressing others,
or even just lying to yourself. Yeah, because you got to tell the truth to yourself first. So yeah. Hey, I appreciated that question. That was lit. Did you get out everything you needed to say?
Yeah, okay. I feel like it stressed me out. I figured it it didn't sound as stressful to you, but it stressed me out. Even when I wrote it, I was like, I kind of feel stressed about this, because I've been on both ends. Like in my arguments, I've said a hard yes, a hard no, and now I just feel like gray. Yeah, not what I prefer, not what I think I would want. But I wouldn't say that I was closed off to anything. But
yeah, we should get shirts that say the gray. Because me, you, and Kalia are in the gray.
We gray
be on
with
some
everything.
Gray ass shit. I'd be like,
very gray.
How do you feel about thievery? I'm in the gray.
And you know what? In the stand for something or fall for anything, I'm like, you know what? I can stand in gray.
Right.
I can stand in gray.
Because everything has kind of like, I really believe what Malcolm X said when he believed what he said when he said that you cannot judge a person unless you know every single experience they've ever been through. Because every single experience builds up and makes you who you are. You know what I'm saying? And how you respond to it is who you are and all these things. So I'd be like, I don't know what he's been through. I don't know what he's going through. I don't know what he's going to go through. So he might need this white woman. This is who God designed for him. We don't know what God designed for us. God might have put that thing in a yellow package. And by yellow, I mean Asian. Or by red, I mean, Native American or indigenous people, or dark brown or light brown. So you just never know. And I think you might be blocking your blessing by being so caught up on all the external physical things. I try to operate.
And you know what? People try to give those rules that don't exist. For example, Jim Crow, if you 1/8 black, then you're black. But if you white passing, how the heck will I know? Like, I didn't know Jesse Williams was black. I didn't even know Colin Kaepernick was black.
Yeah, no, they all look black.
So we have to.
And race isn't even real,
right? It's a construct. So
such a paradox.
We got to be open, I guess.
Yeah,
and because you don't know. I mean, I've definitely seen people that I definitely thought were white, and they were black, half black.
That little boy from Disney that just passed away.
Oh yeah,
he was black.
That dark skin. Yep.
Yeah, and I was like, and I remember somebody had said something. This brother, it was a quote, like a quoted tweet, and I just took it as we're all one race of people. This my brother, this my sister. But somebody was like, before anybody say anything, yes, he was black, and I was like, you didn't have to go that far for me, but wow, didn't know he was black. Definitely looks white.
So again, to me, your mate could be a white passing black, or
right?
It could just be white. So,
right.
Hey,
so
who knows?
For me, I'm like, I try to stay in the.
So life is gray, is what we getting.
Right. I try to stay in the the untouchable things, like the higher, to me, physical is the bottom level of existence. I try not to operate in it too much, and being so stuck on whether he got a beard and how tall he is and what race he is, I'm like, that's operating in the physical. And I feel like you begin to live the best life when you operate in things that are not physical, not tangible, and probably can't even be seen by the eye. So yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Don't fret if you don't have taco meat. Cindy might still give you a shot.
And here we go with the taco meat again. Jeez Louise.
So that wraps up Sexpectations.
Yes,
I hope y'all like our Sexpectations. It's like one of my favorite because of the stress.
Yeah, I think she just likes to stress me the fuck out. And I'd be like, Jesus Christ. Every episode, I'd be like, Jesus Christ. What's she gonna say? She gonna put me on the spot. I'm gonna cry on mic. All right, black on black support. So my black on black support is actually an inverse black on black support. I want to shout out people who have supported
white on black on white.
No, who have supported me.
Oh, nice.
Like coming inward.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Black
And
on black support.
Before I say who it is, I would like to say that this is a group of black friends, a group of black female friends who embody black girl magic. They are best friendship circle goals. They are intelligent, outspoken, magical,
I know
accomplished women. They are. You might not know that because I don't think you know them.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking somebody else.
Oh, okay. I call them the three queens. So their @ names are _ IMB Hood, AMB _ Rosia, Ambrosia. I don't know if I said that right. I'm sorry. I'm always fucking up some names. And Deja Edwards _ So they are actually, so in real life, that's Brianna, that's Deja, and that's Amber. They are, I had class with two of these three young ladies, and we met at ECU, and they are just magical women. And they were actually the first people to tell me to do a podcast. So I would like to pay homage to them and say that they are the reason why this podcast, if you are enjoying it, if you are liking it, they are the reason why I thought I could do this. So thank you guys so much for just being best friendship goals. Their whole friendship circle is lit. I know you don't know them, so you probably just kind of like, I don't know what I'm gonna say or how I'm gonna add lib to this, but
no, this is your black on black support. Go off, sis.
Yes, so thank you guys so much for always supporting me and just for being inspirational. I only get to see them like once a year because I don't live in Greenville anymore, and they also have, some of them have moved on and they're getting their masters from ECU, and that's just wonderful. I'm just glad to know you guys. I love y'all. And it's crazy because I'm somebody who doesn't have to talk to you every day to like really consider you to be like a friend or a close friend or a sister. And it's like I consider them to be like my little sisters. Like I love them so much, and I'm really appreciative to them for just being them and existing and being great examples of black girl magic and being a successful friend group. So yes, that's my black on black support. Thank y'all. Love y'all.
Magic.
Yes, me too.
I just want to, well, I'm going to start by shouting out Memory. And Brianna,
yes, we're being
Danielle, Tia. I'm trying to think of all the people who have responded, commented. Oh, Lauren.
Speaking of Lauren, because I told you I was gonna tell you on air.
Wait, let me finish this.
Okay,
real quick.
okay.
But yeah, at least these two queens. I know there's more. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now, and the Wi-Fi in here is trash, so it's really not my fault. But people who respond whenever we ask, what do you want us to cover? What did you like about the podcast? What was your favorite segment of the podcast? We're hitting a lot about mental health being one of people's favorites.
Affirmations.
Sexpectations. Affirmations get a lot of good love there too. But I just want to say thank you to those women who shout out the podcast even when we don't ask.
Yes.
Who respond to the questions.
Who talk about it.
Who are like, oh my God, I listened to this 3 times. Crystal's one as well.
Yes, Crystal. Yes.
Thank y'all so much for the love that y'all show to the podcast, because if we have 2 listeners, 3 listeners, 4 listeners, 110,000.
Yeah.
We're grateful because we are best friends having normal talks that we would always have. We just maybe try to keep our tangents down a little bit.
Which I don't think we've had many tangents. I think we're getting better at that.
Maybe.
But maybe we're just not counting them.
Honestly, our first 10 minutes we had like 3, but I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
But yeah, no, thank you to the queens that support us, who love us, and the kings as well. I know there's some guys who have responded as well.
Main Focus for posting it on his page.
Yes, thanks, Josh.
And let me make sure, I'm not trying to say that if you post it in your story, that doesn't mean anything. I'm appreciative no matter if you're posting it, if you're talking about it, if you're liking it, commenting, following our official Instagram page. But like, people don't do that anymore. People don't post things that aren't about themselves on their page. So I was like,
or that are not
dope.
Celebrities.
Right, so I was like, that is super dope. Thank you so much
for your local celeb.
Putting it somewhere where you have to putting it somewhere where you have to stroll to see it. But to Lauren DM'd me and said, Aisha's gonna slay you. I can't wait. I was like,
I actually kept that pretty tame. I feel.
You did, absolutely. But I just thought it was so funny because
my ears did get hot, and I was like, I'm going to have to take these headphones off.
The way I read it, I'm pretty sure she might have just said, Aisha's going to slay you. I can't wait. I read it as, Aisha's going to slay you.
Nope, that's how she wrote it. I can tell.
I can't wait. So I was like, what have I done to you?
She's going to rip you to shreds.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. I was like, it's the Beyonce thing, ain't it? Mm-hmm. The Beehive is ready to attack.
The hive was ready. They is ready. I am still ready.
So shout out to Lauren, yes, and shout out to everybody. Kalia said that she's talked to people about it. So for anybody that is like,
Hot Rod, check this out. Thanks, Hot Rod. I see you. Let's talk about Hot Rod's body transformation. I see you. Get rid of
body transformation.
Get rid of that bird chest. I see you, big dog. In the gym. In the gym.
I'm gonna have to look at this. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you guys. Thanks guys so much for everybody that we didn't mention. It's kind of like when you do an awards acceptance speech. Oh my God, I'm forgetting someone.
And your daughter's like, me, Mom. You're forgetting.
right. So thank you guys. Every single person that has listened, that has talked about it, that has responded and commented and rated. Kevin hit me up. We were talking because I did my Kevin flashback yesterday. Yeah. He was like, I rated your podcast, and I was like, oh my God, you took the time to rate it. This is too much.
Yeah.
Anytime one
person, dope.
Yeah.
Oh, we love it.
I'd be ready to cry every time somebody reposts
because
it.
Our podcast is on so many platforms. Mm-hmm. I mean, 4 or 5. So we can't necessarily see if we have, I don't know, 100 views, 1,000 views, because they're kind of spread out on different things. Everybody uses a different Apple, Spotify, YouTube,
absolutely.
what have you. So, just the love that we receive, we appreciate it. We're grateful for it. We love it. It's fun. This is so fun for us.
Absolutely. And y'all, please keep it going, because we really just want this could be our career. Imagine that. Imagine how many more of these you could get.
Imagine talking
shirts.
To your best friend as a career,
and you're getting paid for it. And y'all could make that dream come true just by talking about it, just by reposting it. It's amazing. So thank you guys so much.
I said, you at the gym, on the way to work, when you clean your house, and again, I hope you clean your house. So yeah, while you're doing those things, you could just listen to our podcast. Absolutely. We'll be here to entertain you with our shenanigans.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Did you have something else for Black?
Oh yes, I have lots of Black on Black support. Well, okay. For one, I want to shout out my shirt, Black Liberation. On Instagram is Black Liberation with 2 Ks, Black Liberation. By Serious B. He's a rapper. He just dropped a project, so check him out. But I love this shirt. Everybody's always looking at me whenever I go anywhere with it on. And then one more, and then I have a group thing I need to do. Shop 25th Avenue on Instagram. It's a very cute boutique by 2 beautiful Black women who are both 26 years old. Check them out. It's a really cool boutique. All right, so my group, Black on Black support. I want to say rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. The marathon continues. We appreciate you, brother. We love you. We miss you. But I also wanted to take time to say that we have so many living legends. We have so many people who do great work in their communities and our communities and in the world that we don't show enough love to. And we can't keep giving roses to people who can't smell them. So I want to take the time to say much love to David Banner, Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Killer Mike, T.I., Nick Cannon, Nas, J. Cole, Jaden Smith.
Yes.
All of those beautiful people who are doing such a beautiful groundwork for the community.
Yes.
And a big shout out. We don't talk about him nearly enough, but when we say the marathon continues, we have to talk about Akon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
King Akon. I see you. I love you. So his project, Lighting Africa, or Akon Lights Africa, something like that. So not only did he build these, solar panels, because when he was touring, he said there was a lot of countries that wanted him to come, but they simply didn't have the electricity for big venues, so do concerts and festivals. But not only did he, install these panels and things like that, he also did it as in not giving people fish to eat, but teaching them how to fish.
Yeah.
So nice. With all this power that they have in these countries now they can bring on more talent and more tourism and build more things in their communities because of these solar panels and because of this lighting and electricity that they have in their neighborhoods and communities now. It wasn't just for him to be able to go tour one time, leave, take his fish back kind of thing.
Right.
He taught them how to fish so that now that they can have other incomes, because, the whole world is raping Africa. So, a way for them to bring back money to their communities.
That's beautiful.
Very dope. Much love to all those people. Please give people their motherfucking roses when they can smell them.
Yes.
Stop tattooing people, their messages, their mottos, buying their merchandise, supporting them online and offline or whatever when they're not here to see the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, if you don't know what those people are doing, because I know there's a lot of people that you mentioned and I might not know exactly what they're doing. Just take some time to look it up. Take some time to type in hashtag Nick Cannon and see what he's been doing, or type in hashtag Jaden Smith if you don't know, because people are doing amazing things that we are all benefiting from, because at the end of the day, when one of us benefits, whether I know you or not, we all benefit, and we create a better, more beautiful, more sustainable planet and world, so in society.
Yeah.
So yes, ma'am.
A lot of these are, buy back the block, buy back their neighborhoods, so that we don't have white people gentrifying our neighborhoods. We can do it for ourselves and better ourselves.
Absolutely.
But yeah, much love to those people. The marathon continues for all of them.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Yes, ma'am. All right. Does that wrap up Black on Black support?
That wraps up Black on Black support.
All right. I actually have something for mental health for once in my life.
Nice.
All right. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I love mental health.
It is called Yoga Behind Bars, and it is based in Seattle. It is a yoga to rehabilitate prisoners. It is all about yoga and mindfulness. They have yoga teachers who volunteer, and they travel up to 4 to 5 hours to teach yoga to prison inmates. Yes. And again, volunteering. So I'm assuming they're not getting paid, because I think that's the definition of volunteering. And they talked about, so it was a video that was done, if I'm not mistaken, by Now This. It's like a news media outlet that I follow on Instagram. If y'all do not follow it, it is great. I think they have created such a dope way to give the news out, because the videos are always short and they're fun, and because trying to penetrate the shortened attention span, I think now, of turning on the TV and watching the news, it's like, nah, it's right here on your phone, and it's going to be short, it's going to be funny, it's going to be interesting. So this is where I got this from. But in that video, it was about like 5 minutes, and they were talking about the importance of space. So they were saying, like, they talked about how small prison cells are, and how the inmates can't practice like in their practice yoga in their cell. And she was saying how important it is, and I think the inmates themselves were talking about how important it is just to be able to have space, and just what that does for their minds and things like that. And so one thing I want to talk about with this was what happens when you give access to these things to people. Like, I'm sure they might have these, though, even if it's just the inmates who participate. Like, I didn't get to see how many it was or how many they have involved, but giving access, like yoga, giving access to things like that mind body connection, being able to calm down when you are limited in your space. Because she was talking about how if you can't prepare to go to prison, like, it's just not something you're going to be used to.
Oh, no.
So when you have that outlet, imagine what that has done for that community. Like, there might be less violence at this prison, or those inmates who might have been violent before may not be violent now. Because again, even if you were a non-violent offender before you went into prison, like, again, talking about Malcolm X, he talked about what those bars do to you psychologically, what being overcrowded does to you psychologically. Like, you might not have been violent before you went in there, but you ain't got no space. Somebody that's literally telling you what time to eat, what time to go to bed, what time you got to stay in your prison cell if you get yard time. And then you got to hope that you're one of the fortunate ones who doesn't have a mean guard who just treats you like shit for no reason at all, just because they can.
And
right?
Not only that, but the daily fight for your life, for your
So just imagine again, like, what it does when we give people access to these things, when we don't just when we don't just act like they no longer matter because they made a mistake or committed a crime. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was super dope and super important.
Yoga behind bars.
Yeah. And one inmate, again, just talking about how the yoga class counteracted the tension. He was like, it's just so much tension, but like, just being able to participate in this is amazing. And it said they had 102 volunteers, and I think they even have, it just based on the video, they have prisoners who also teach yoga too. And they were talking about an inmate, I did not catch his name or write it down, but he's serving a life sentence because of the 3 strike laws. And just that alone, I'm just like, how would you even want to get out of bed in the morning knowing that this is the last thing you're ever going to see? But he's now an instructor. So
you gotta find your purpose, and I think that's an important message in and of itself. Yeah. Because so many things in the world can make you feel like you have no purpose. Like there's not a reason to keep going. We got children killing themselves on a daily basis because they're too young to even understand that they have a purpose. And then there's adults who don't know their purpose. So that's beautiful. I'm glad that yoga's making that opportunity for people. I know that there's some schools that are doing that for quote unquote detention now. And that's pretty cool. Like, teaching you meditation and reflection and yoga, things like that. So that's really dope. I'm glad that movement is, picking up speed.
Same. So yes, just in case y'all did not catch that, you want to do further research, it is called Yoga Behind Bars, and it is in Seattle. So you can just type in like Seattle, Washington, and it should come up. And I found that on Instagram, but you can of course look it up on probably Google or anything else. So yes, that's my mental health check-in. What you got, Queen?
For my mental health check-in, it's more of a to-do. Well, a couple to-dos. Okay. Check on your kids. Check on children. There's like a lot of TV shows out. There's 13 Reasons. There's Euphoria. There's a ton of other coming of age TV shows, stories, etc. About bullying, the internet, the day and age of social media, how things never disappear, drug abuse, drug addictions, physical abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, all these things that children are having to deal with. Like, yes, we know as adults we deal with those things, but children are having to deal with it, I feel like, exponentially, because they can never turn it off. And hearing things like, well, if you're getting bullied on the internet, cut off the internet. Really, nigga? Like, this is the day and age of the internet. We can't just cut it off and escape all those problems.
Well, this is the day and age of, I didn't even know I opened this app, but I've been on here for 5 minutes.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like kids are really battling with that. And when you see these stories, of course, these are dramatizations, but they are of real life where parents don't know what to do, or they're not even checking. Some people are like, oh, my kid got bullied. And then you're not even checking to see if your kid is a bully, or making sure that they're not taking traumas and projecting them on other kids and their teachers, etc. Check on kids. These are babies, and these are the people who will be molding our future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want somebody who was a bully, who beat the crap out of somebody, or who physically or sexually abused somebody in office one day? Right. Because these are our future. That is our realism here. We have to take care of our babies and make sure that they're safe. People who just leave their kids with anybody. I'm not a parent, but I can't even imagine leaving my child with somebody that I trusted, because the only person I would trust was something that not belonged to me, but that is my seed, would be me. But people are just leaving them with anybody, and kids are getting sexually abused. They're taking those traumas into their adult life, and you're never really healing, because we're in a society where you can't talk about those things. Like, talk to your kids and make sure that they know that, yes, that you're their parent, but your job as a parent is to protect, to guide, to love. Yeah, it's not to be harsh and condemn and hurt and add more trauma to them. Your job is, your duty is to love them and take care of them. And if they're getting all these traumas, they're coming from somewhere. Yes. Whether that's in the house or at school, you're never going to know unless you talk to your kids. So talk to your babies. I don't care if your babies are 4 or 5 years old. Talk to your babies and let them know, hey, always come to mommy if somebody does this, or touches you here, or says this to you, or makes you feel this way. Know that I'm always here to talk to you. I'm not going to make you feel bad for how you feel. You can never be mad at somebody for how they feel. So talk to your babies. You never know what they're going through. And I feel like the worst pain you could probably ever experience is coming home and seeing that your baby killed themselves. 6, 7 years old, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, babies in elementary school killing themselves because of, getting their feelings hurt or being traumatized. So check on your babies. That's the mental health check. Check on your babies.
Yes, ma'am. All right. And so y'all already know we round this whole good thing out with affirmations, because we want to always leave you on a positive note.
Call someone you love.
Yes.
If somebody strikes your mind, call them, love on them. I have somebody in my family. I won't even say any more details. I have somebody in my family who thinks that I'm beautiful because of my light skin. That breaks my heart. And hearing brown skin girl, I know the song is not for me, but it made me so happy, and I listen to it nonstop. I sing it nonstop because I think about people who look up to me, or just look at me in general and think like, she's beautiful because XYZ, or because society holds her to this standard. And I'm like, if you only knew that growing up, I wanted to be dark skinned so bad. I wanted to have beautiful brown skin. Or be white. And that's the funny thing. I wanted to belong somewhere. And I'm like, I need to look like this or this. Like, either one would be fine. But I need to look like something so I can fit in places. And, I just think about how beautiful my family is. My family on my dad's side are dark-skinned, brown-skinned, beautiful people. And the song means so much to me. So I just, that was on my heart this morning. And so I was like, let me send this text, because they might need that today. They might, be waking up not feeling love, not feeling like themselves. And that's why I love and appreciate Beyonce so much, is because she is so inclusive to all of the things that us Black people, and especially Black women, go through. And I was like, you know what? She may have really needed this today. Let me send her some love, and also tell her, listen to this song and get in all of your feels today, because it's beautiful and I want you to feel celebrated. And the best love is self-love. Absolutely. So call somebody, text somebody, send some love to somebody who is on your heart and mind. Yes,
which kind of goes right into the affirmation that I had, and it was just love yourself. Love yourself. Yes. Simple, but we just need reminders, because you got people out here saying that your bushy hair is nasty, and you got people saying that your dark skin is not allowed in my VIP section. So whatever it is,
water bugs, right? Water bugs.
Whatever it is you look like, whatever it is you have going on, even if you're not at where you want to be, whether that be financially or with your career, or maybe your grades, maybe you had a bad semester and your grades weren't good, like, just whatever is going on, at the end of the day, you are still well and capable of anything you set your mind to. You are still beautiful. You are still needed here on this planet. You have a mission and a purpose, and you are going to find it one day. Because I remember feeling like, wow, it just seemed like people around me knew what they wanted to do. Like, I remember going to college and people were like, oh, I'm going to do finance, and they were so sure about that. I'm going to be a nurse. They were so so sure. And I was just kind of like, I don't know what I want to do. But again, it was because I was lying to myself. But not to veer off topic, just love yourself, love your skin. Whether you got acne or you don't got acne, whether you dark or you light, whether your hair is straight, you wearing a weave or a wig or whatever you got going on, whether you're short, tall, skinny, thick, fit, slim fit, love yourself, because I mean, I think everything starts with loving yourself. I don't think you can love others unless you love yourself. So,
amen. What a
love
word.
yourself today and every day.
What a word. Leslie, in life, you always have choices. I always choose to be Beyonce.
Long as it's not Esnala.
Okay, all right. So that wraps that up. You do not have to leave. You don't have to go home. But you have to get the hell out of our living room.
All right, y'all. We love y'all. Go through this next week with love, light, and positivity. Treat people with respect. Take care of yourself. This has been your host, the artist formerly known as Affluence and Rage, Sid the Great.
And I am IyeshaDamali. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace out.
Silent treatments to show that you got power. Can't you see that we've been at this for hours? And I love you the same way, girl. I loved your ass way before. I need this balance before I go hit the balance. Love you too that much, girl, I need balance. Love you too that much, girl, I need balance. Love you too that much, girl, I need balance. I need balance.